What's up, Mike?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
You know, another day, another dollar. I'm wanting to talk about tight ends today.
Yes, indeed.
What you got for me on tight ends? You ready to talk about it?
Man,
You ready?
we got a couple guys that are a little higher than the consensus. A couple guys that are a little lower than the consensus. Big time sleeper. Jam-packed show. We actually had a couple listeners email us, man. So we got a couple email questions we got to get to.
Let's hear it. This is the Horse and the Hound.
Let's do it.
Scared money don't make nothing. Nothing in life can come free. Grab what you can carry while the getting's still good. And nothing's all you ever gonna be. Born in a boomtown.
I love that song.
It's a great song, man. Shout out to Southall.
South Hall.
Your guy.
Love that, dude. All right, Mike.
Let's get to it, man. Starting off today, man. How you doing, first off?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here, doing what we love, man. This is so much fun.
I love
I'm glad
it,
we're
man.
doing this.
I love it, man. We're just chasing the dream, something we've both been passionate
Yeah.
about, man. So let's stay on the road.
Yeah, man.
Let's
This
get
is
it.
just a fun thing to do.
It really is, man. We're talking about something that we're passionate about, something that we love, and it's too much fun.
Yeah, and we're finally starting to get some people to watch.
I
which
know,
has been
man.
cool,
It's
interacting
cool.
with everybody online.
Every single new viewer is like, yo, you see we got new viewers.
Yes, I text him for we got 18 views. We got
You know
21
what I mean?
views.
Hey, shout out Brett Nims, my dog.
What a good guy.
Brett Nims, dog.
Something in Michigan. Michigan people are always just good.
Hey, I just know Brett Nims is a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. I'll give it to you. Thanks.
Shout out to Brett. Appreciate all the support, man.
Yeah, him's a great guy.
Yeah, man. So for today's show, man, as usual, we have 4 future bets we're going to get to.
Always.
Make sure you lock those in, 2 for each of us. We're going to get into our tight end rankings, fantasy football, of course. We're going to get to a couple listener emails that we had come in, a couple legit questions we had. That should be interesting. And anything else you want to get to, man?
No, let's get these futures. I want to hear it.
All right, I'll start it off, man. Very first future I have for you today. Gus Edwards, running back, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, currently of the Los Angeles Chargers. We're gonna take the Gus Edwards over 4.5 rushing touchdowns. This is a guy.
That is a steal.
It's a smash, man. It really easy. If you like making money, listen to me. Listen, last year he had 13 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, he was in Baltimore, different system, of course. He's going to be the starting running back for a Jim Harbaugh offense. Jim Harbaugh loves running the ball. That is a team that has invested in the line of scrimmage. Immediately get Joe Alt, who's pretty much a generational tackle prospect on the right side. You have Zion Johnson and Rashawn Slater on the left side. You have 3 first-round high-level picks on the offensive line. He's the starting running back for Los Angeles Chargers. Book that easy 4.5.
That's my favorite we've had so far, I think.
It's just such easy money. I'm surprised Vegas has it so low. Maybe they're projecting an injury or running back by committee, but all the reports I've seen out of the camp is that Edwards is the one. Everyone's competing behind him, man. What you got for the second one?
Okay, so mine this week, it's not as good as that, but it's good. I like Bijan Robinson over 6.5 rushing touchdowns this year. Okay, this is a great offense, and this is a great talent. The offense just got better last year. Don't be scared of last year. Okay, this is a totally new system. Reports out of camp says that they're working him kind of like the Christian role in San Francisco.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. That is so appealing. I love it. I love the talent. Boomer. But I'm taking that. I project him anywhere from 8 to 9 touchdowns this year. Rushing.
I like that too, man. I feel like they're going to start phasing out Tyler Algier, who's been a little pesky, kind of a pest around the goal line.
Yeah.
I can see if all the reports are true, if some of the reports are true, he's going to have such an uptick in the amount of carries he gets, the amount of work, and him just getting the large majority of the workload around the goal line with a guy like Kirk Cousins. They're going to hand the ball off, man. Atlanta has one of the best offensive lines in football. Easy smash for that one, too.
Yeah, I love that one. That's an easy pick for me.
Yeah, absolutely. My second bet I have, so I do like the Bijan one as well, man. That's a really good one. Bijan Robinson is someone I'm drafting really high this year. Outside of the top 3, I think Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, those 3 not in order. I think those are pretty much unanimously, regardless of the league type or the scoring system. I think those are going to be your top 3. Bijan's right there in that 4th spot. So he's right in the mix, man. I like that bet. I like that Atlanta offensive line. I love the talent. Let's do it.
All right.
My next one, my second one is Tajay Spears over 515 rushing yards. I don't know why they have the line here. I think it's because they signed Tony Pollard and gave him decent money. I think they're seeing it like Pollard's going to be the starter. I don't believe in Tony Pollard as a talent. Also, even if they are splitting carries, he's going to get enough work to get to 515 in probably half the season, or a little over half the season. Last year, he had 453 playing behind Paul's Derrick Henry. So I see an easy path to him getting another, 65 or so more rushing yards, man. What do you think?
I like that. Those are two really good lines.
Dog, if he's the starter, that's cake.
I don't think he'll be a starter, though.
Even if he doesn't, if he's splitting, I think 515 yards is easily in the outcomes for him.
Yeah, I agree. My second one, Kyler Murray, over 21.5 touchdowns. Little guy, petite Kyler, he will get this number this year. I do think with the talent they brought in with Marvin Harrison Jr., who is another generational talent
Absolutely.
that came out of the draft, I think people have kind of changed how they feel on Kyler's talent. With coming off this injury 2 years ago, he has supported this kind of line before. Just 3 years ago, he blew past this.
Oh,
so Kyler Murray at 21.5 touchdowns.
I think that's so safe, and I think he's a quarterback for me. I support and I use tier-based drafting. He's the last guy in that tier where I really feel like high-level quarterback. I think he's going to be. I think he's such a smash this year in fantasy just because of where he's going.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are forgetting the caliber of fantasy quarterback he is, and then the high floor he has with his rushing.
Yeah,
all the rushing that he does. So
yeah, he's.
But
great fantasy asset.
21.5, and you're getting Trey McBride, who's a high-level second-round pick a couple years ago. High-level tight end prospect.
Broke out, and I think we'll talk about him a little more in a minute.
Yes, sir. Michael Wilson at receiver, who's a guy I was really high on personally pre-draft. And then you get Marvin Harrison, who's every bit probably the best prospect since maybe Calvin Johnson.
One name that you haven't mentioned yet, who is gonna make a lot of people upset this year, who's coming out of camp, Zay Jones. He came over from Jacksonville last year.
Former Raider.
He had a great year. He had a good year. But reports out of camp says that he is tearing it up in camp right now.
You give Kyler a talent like Kyler Murray those type of weapons.
Yeah.
21.5, 22 touchdowns, cake for him, man. Lock it in.
Okay, have you been watching the Olympics at all?
I've been keeping up with what's going on over there, man. I saw the men's team blew out Serbia today.
Yeah.
And that leads us. That's a great segue, man. We actually had. And hit us up on the email. We'll give all of our contacts and stuff at the end of the podcast. We actually got a couple emails and comments in from some people who had a question. We actually had a listener hit us up and say, is this current Olympic men's basketball team the best team ever assembled? I kind of chuckled at it, no disrespect. I don't think they're even in contention for the best basketball team ever or men's Olympic team ever.
Yeah, I agree. Not at all.
I don't think they're even in that conversation. Shout out to that listener, man. Jason from Choctaw. So we appreciate you guys reaching out always. In my opinion, the greatest men's basketball team ever assembled is the 1996, quote, Dream Team 2. That roster was the best, and I don't think it'll ever be matched, man. That was by far and away the best for me. Who's the best roster for you?
For me, it's the Redeem Team, dog. 2008.
2008?
You got LeBron, we've already talked about, the greatest athlete of all time.
Debatably.
King James. You got a prime. It's a prime LeBron, too. Prime Dwayne Wade. You got a veteran Kobe, who was at the time was the best player, probably the best player in the NBA at the time. He was killing it those years. A prime Dwight Howard. No one wants to give him his love, but at the time, we all thought he was the next big thing.
Okay.
A prime Chris Bosh. A prime Chris Paul. That team was great.
That was a great team. But
just because it's not old, they haven't aged enough. They haven't gained that lore that those teams from the 90s got.
I think there's a reason for that, man. You also had Darren Williams when he started getting out of shape. 2008 Darren Williams when he went to Brooklyn. You had Michael Redd, who shouldn't be in any conversation for if we're talking about some of the best teams ever. You had Michael Redd, you had Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, who's a great player, but he's soft, no disrespect. Tayshaun Prince. So that's a good team. But let me read you the 1996 Dream Team 2, the team I think is the best ever. Charles Barkley, age 33. 23-year-old Grant Hill. Penny Hardaway. David Robinson. Scott Pippen. Mitch Richmond. Reggie Miller. Karl Malone. John Stockton. 24-year-old Shaquille O'Neal.
That right there. That's where you get
And then you
That's where
get
it gets really
33-year-old
interesting.
Hakeem Olajuwon. You got Hakeem and Shaq together? What?
I'm a-
And Gary Payton?
King
No one's beating that team, dog.
Hakeem was arguably one of the best big men. He's right there.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was on the downside of his
Dog,
career.
he had won a title in 95. Like, this is the 96. He was 33 years old. No one is going to stop Hakeem and that Shaq together.
I agree, but no one's stopping LeBron, Kobe, and D-Wade either.
But if someone is stopping him, I like Scottie Pippen and Grant Hill's chances on the wing. That's a hell of a combo for the wings. And then you got to deal with Mitch Richmond and Reggie Miller shooting.
I don't think we will ever agree on this one.
Dog, and you got Penny Hardaway. Like, I don't think the guards, you had old Jason Kidd. He's not, Jason Kidd at 35.
And he was great.
He's not chasing around 25-year-old Penny Hardaway in the open floor. 34-year-old John Stockton running the offense, like slowing it down. Whew.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah, for sure, man. But hey,
Anyways, I love USA basketball.
hey, I love it, man.
We
Go
better-
USA.
As long as we don't blow this year. Well, I don't think we will. I think we'll win.
Yeah, I think they got it in the bag, man. That's
right.
too much talent.
Speaking of the Olympics, how well are you hearing these countries and are you like, I've never even heard of these before?
Dog,
Do you feel
every
like
time I watch it, I see a country. I'm like, yo, where is that? If you put me in front of a map, I would have no idea.
Do you think I'm the same way? But do you think you could beat me? And like, if we put like a flag, we can name that country.
Dog, I think I could get you
Well,
because I think we're in the same boat. Like, we don't really.
you probably could get me. So I got an expert coming in the next episode
Oh,
to
God.
challenge us, and I'm
Oh,
telling
man.
you, he is world class at geography.
Bring him in, man. My
So-
competitive spirit is going to give. I'm taking me to. I think I'll do better than most people would expect.
Okay.
Because I'm a competitive person.
So let's say I put 20 countries, 20 flags, and you have to name the country.
Oh my god.
Out of 20, how many do you think you can get?
I'm going to give myself 9.
Oh, okay. I like it. Over under 9. Let us know
9.
what you think. How about me and you versus him?
Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Two regular schmegular people against an expert.
Low end regular though. We're low end regular.
Absolutely, man. Let's run it. So next episode, bring him in.
We'll bring him in. His schedule is busy.
Okay, understood, man.
Okay.
We'll be here.
All right, let's go into it. Let's get into some rankings.
Let's get into our tight end rankings.
But before we do that,
Uh-oh.
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Please do.
Please do it. It helps us out so much. And it's fun. We're having so much fun with it. With the comments, keep commenting. We're
Yeah.
going to keep asking questions, and we want you to keep answering.
Yeah, you can hit us up on any of the social media platforms we have, the YouTube, TikTok,
The
Instagram, Facebook, dog, all of it. Email. We got an email from a caller. So
If you like that, yeah.
love it, man. So yeah, hit us up. Any of the platforms are available. So getting straight into our top 10 tight end rankings.
Tight ends.
Coming in at number 1. And keep in mind, this is for the half PPR scoring format. We have Sam Laporta, number 1. Sam Laporta is both of our number 1 and the industry number 1. Thoughts on Sam Laporta this year?
Sam Laporta last year was. Now, everyone keep in mind that, yes, he is my overall number 1 tight end, but at the price in which you have to pay for him, which is a early to mid second round pick, is too expensive for me. I just don't. The opportunity cost there is just too much.
Exactly.
But he's great. Last year, he set the league on fire. No one's seen it coming. And if I did, I'd be a rich man right now.
And
He had 10 touchdowns. Okay, this dude is an athletic freak.
oh yeah,
But it's not the kind of athletic freak like you have a Kyle Pitts. He has, he has great separation skills.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so good there in the red zone. He gets open. That offense just kind of revolves around him down there. It did last year. Now, for his metrics that he had throughout the year, so I'm saying his total yards, total receptions,
Yeah.
he didn't really, the math didn't average out to 10 touchdowns. It really projected him more towards like a 6 touchdown year, 6 to 7 touchdown year.
yeah.
There is a world that he could regress. I think he's going to stay right there at about 10 touchdowns again, though.
That's where I'm at too. I feel like the way that he played, the way the offense flowed, I can see this being the type of season he has consistently. I know touchdowns aren't normally a stat that sticks with players. I can see him being right around 10 touchdowns. I can see that coming down a little bit because I think Jahmyr Gibbs and I think he's going to get, the larger portion of the offense.
Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams coming along could
They're
take away some
saying
of the
he's
yards.
coming along.
Yeah, that offense, it just lends to him getting one-on-one opportunities, which is all you want as a great player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for Detroit fans.
Yeah, Detroit. Hey, Brett Nims, Detroit fans,
Yep.
man. We're cheering for you guys, man.
Yeah,
So
I am.
yeah, but that just lends to him getting one-on-one opportunities, and if he does, he's going to repeat and have a similar year to last year, which would bring him probably right around tight end 1.
Yeah, I think that he's in there again.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
All right, number 2, Travis Kelce, aka Mrs. Swift's boyfriend.
Not a Chiefs fan by any means. Can't stand him, man. But Travis Kelce's pretty much as safe as it gets. I like Travis Kelce to. I feel like his role is starting to regress a little. I think they're becoming more. They were becoming more of a running team. But then you add Marquise Brown and the redundant skill set of Xavier Worthy. I think that's going to be more of a vertical offense again. But he's still the top option there in that offense. And the number one option for Patrick Mahomes is as safe as it gets, man.
I agree with you. Travis Kelce's the GOAT tight end. I don't think.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
I think, okay, yeah,
But
we can talk. Okay.
Mother Nature's taking her toll.
Yeah, he can't beat the clock, man.
He's turning 35 this year.
Yeah.
Tight ends drastically regress over time.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the year where we kind of saw it last year. This is the year where we're going to start seeing the decline of Travis Kelce, and that sucks. He's still the GOAT. He's on he's on whatever the mountain is.
Mount Rushmore.
That one, and the one that no one likes really. He's definitely Mount Rushmore. But yeah, he's going to go downhill.
I think he's, in real life, I think he's arguably the second best tight end in the world behind George Kittle. We can have that discussion another time. But for the purposes of this discussion, I think he's rock solid and safe.
It's not even close, dude.
I think, we can talk about that later, man. But I think Travis Kelce's rock solid and safe. I don't really see the upside that he once had, and it's kind of showing in his ADP. He's going mid-third, and I don't mind paying that ADP. But if you get Travis Kelce in round 3, I'm going to make sure I get the stack with Patrick Mahomes round 4 or wherever I have to make sure I get that stack.
Yeah, if you get
that's the only way I'm taking Kelce. If I feel like I can definitely get that stack with Mahomes, man.
that, I do like that. If you can get the stack, it's worth it.
And I think the sweet spot for Travis Kelce, for me personally drafting him, if I'm picking at the end of the odd round, so picks 8, 9, 10, I'll take Kelce at the end of round 3 and come around and get Mahomes round 4 or whatever.
If he falls that far, yeah.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot for me taking Travis Kelce this year.
All right, who we got next?
Number 3, our consensus was Mark Andrews.
Boomer!
Monster Mark.
Boomer!
Yeah, Mark Andrews is a monster, man. I think he's rock solid and safe. I feel like Baltimore's offensive line actually has regressed since last year, so I can see a lot more short game to him. Mm-hmm. They started using Isaiah Likely, so that might be something worth monitoring, having another threat at the same tight end position. Zay Flowers just really starting to take off, and I think he's going to just skyrocket this year, just as far as just being just such a dynamic player. But 20 to 20, you got Mark Andrews. Around the goal line, he's the first option, aside from running. So
it's the rapport with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson loves going to Mark Andrews. He is his safety blanket. Flowers does not concern me. Isaiah Likely does not concern me. Mark Andrews, only thing I'm really worried about him is Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry will have, trust me, Derrick Henry's going to have double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, easy. Punch it in there.
That concerns me, but he's still just solid.
Yeah.
He's not at the age yet where you got to really start worried about regression. I believe he's 28. Fact check me on that. I might be wrong. But I believe he's 28, so he's still kind of right there in that golden age.
Yeah. And I feel like he's a guy that you can count on every week. You don't have to draft him crazy high. Like you don't have to take him high like you're taking Laporta. Mm-hmm. You don't have to take him round 3. But you can get him in that 5th round. Mm-hmm. And really, really, that's another guy. If you can go 4th round Lamar, you're willing to go 4th round Lamar Jackson, you can get a nice stack with Mark Andrews.
Okay.
And coming in at number 4, we have my man Dalton Kincaid. Now, I personally have Dalton Kincaid number 3. I know you had him at, I believe, 5.
I did.
Thoughts on Dalton Kincaid this year? I'm sky high on him.
Dalton Kincaid, what makes him so appealing is he is the number 1 target in that offense.
Yeah.
He will be the number 1. He will take over that. He will really benefit from the exit of Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. I'm not worried about Keon Coleman yet. I do like him, but he's still just a rookie. I love Dalton Kincaid this year. And this is where you kind of start getting to the range where I'm more willing to take this is like a tier break.
Yeah.
This is the end of the tier 1, I believe, tier 2. And this is kind of where I feel like it becomes a little more affordable to take a high-end tight end.
Right. I'm taking a lot of Kincaid this year, Paul. I feel like if you can get the stack with him and Josh Allen, I think there's a legitimate chance that he's the number one receiving option for Josh Allen. And I'm sky high on Keon Coleman as well for a rookie. Love his ADP, but I think Kincaid could absolutely be the number one target for him. All those vacated targets with Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs being gone, I believe in the talent. He's super young, super athletic, and just the nature of that offense, man. They can do the backyard football thing where I've seen it too many times where Josh Allen will get back there, the play will break down, Kincaid breaks open and just takes it upfield.
And when Dawson Knox went out last year with injury, Kincaid did kind of have a minor breakout.
Yeah.
The problem was when Knox came back, he kind of fell away again.
Right.
And Dawson Knox didn't go anywhere. He's still there. So he will be an issue. He will eat into some of that work. But
Yeah.
I like Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, I love Dalton Kincaid this year, man. I think sky's the limit for him. I have him as my number 3 tight end. Draft Dalton Kincaid, and if you can get that stack, that's another stack that's well worth having. You have to pay up a little bit for it, but I think it's going to pay off as well.
So those last two that we talked about, Andrews and Kincaid,
Yeah.
there's why I have them here. Why I like them here is there's a chance for them, like we just said. Dalton Kincaid, Mark Andrews could be the number one receiver on their team.
Yeah, and that's rare for tight ends. But you're seeing the tight end emergence that we have right now. Like you saw how Sam Laporta broke out. He wasn't the number one there, but look at the utilization for Sammy Laporta.
Yep.
Travis Kelce's been the number one receiving option for Kansas City for years. Look what he's been able to do.
We're about to start breaking into guys, though, where the tier breaks. There are guys who I just cannot see them being the number one on their own team.
Got you.
So that leads me right into Trey McBride.
Number 5, Trey
I
McBride.
love Trey McBride. If this receiving core at Arizona, if they did not bring in Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride would be higher for me.
Oh, he's been my number 1
But
tight end off the board.
There's no way that he's the number one receiving option in this offense with Marvin Harrison. There's just no way.
True, but keep in mind also that offense, Marvin Harrison can only do so much. There's going to be other targets,
Right,
and
I
he's
agree.
proven to be a great athlete.
He is.
He's proven to show the ability to get open. He's going to have a guy like Marvin Harrison who is going to be the focal point of the defense's game plan. So I think there's an easy path there for him to repeat what he did last year. And he only had, I think, 2 touchdowns last year. So I think that number is going to go up by default. I know you get James Conner back, and I think Trey McBride is a guy that he has the upside and the floor.
Again,
And he's right in that mix of the guys that aren't the number one option for their offense, but just a rock solid option that you know you're going to get guaranteed production from.
like I said earlier, these are the guys where they become more affordable. I
Yeah.
say that, but this is kind of where I'm starting to really try to get a high-end tight end.
Got you.
All right. Next, this is my favorite. This is my favorite tight end in the draft this year.
Guy,
And this is not
oh, yeah.
This is not being. I'm not being a homer here. I do love my Cowboys, but Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson quietly put together an amazing year last year.
He did.
And Dak always loves to support a tight end. He always supports a mid tight end 1. He always does,
Yeah.
and they're usually always affordable.
Yeah, we both had Jake Ferguson number 6. I really love him around the goal line this year. It's partially due to the fact that you have Zeke, who I believe is beyond his best years, beyond his prime. I don't want to say washed, but we know the truth.
Yeah.
And I think their primary option around the goal line, I think Dak is going to be rushing a lot around the goal line. And I think he's going to be throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb, who's a monster, and Jake Ferguson. He's such a red zone threat, the size, the ability he has, high pointing the ball. I think he's as safe as it gets, and he's a guy that you can get pretty late in drafts, considering the role that he plays.
Yep.
Like Jake Ferguson's coming off at, what is Jake Ferguson? He's coming off at 86 overall.
It's not that I think he's going to be the number one tight end in the game this year. He's affordable. What you get, you can get you 3 receivers and 2 running backs before you have to get a tight end. That's such a game change, such a big difference.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Jake Ferguson, take him. Jake Ferguson, we them boys.
We both had him. We both had him at number 6, man. But number 7, our consensus was Evan Ingram. You were a little higher on Evan Ingram than me. That's a guy I've never been able to actually draft. I feel like last year he's broken out before, man. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's excellent, in the pass game. He's excellent after the catch. But I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars have really upgraded that receiving core, adding a Gabe Davis. You get Christian Kirk back, and then you add a first-round Brian Thomas. You're adding weapons, so I think that's going to lend to him having being a little less prevalent in that offense, man. What do you think about Evan Ingram this year?
Evan Ingram, I've been burned by Evan Ingram before. Last year, you said he broke out. I think last year he did break out again. He showed why New York took him so early and why there was so much hype around him when he was in his first few years in the league. I think he is the cutoff for me, though.
He's the last guy.
He's the last guy that I like for after Evan Ingram. It's kind of like you're shooting in the dark.
I got you. See, I was on the other end of it. I had another guy one spot ahead of Evan Ingram. We'll talk about him next. Evan Ingram, I've never been able to actually draft, but it just feels like he's kind of in that. He's like that no man's zone. Mm-hmm. That I don't know. It's a weird spot with Evan Ingram, man. I think the talent is there. I think he's a really safe option. I think if you punt on, elite tight end, if you punt on tight end a little early, he's a safe guy that you can go in there and get rock solid production out of. So for Evan Ingram, you can draft him if you don't have high expectation. I don't really see much of an upside with Evan Ingram.
Yep.
I don't think there's any chance of him being a top 3 tight end or tight end number 1 overall for sure. But if you're looking to get, a solid option there, Evan Ingram's your guy.
And that's tight ends, though. After you get past the first few, that's just tight end landscape.
Mostly. Yeah, next guy we had was a guy I had at number 7 personally, Kyle Pitts. Let's talk about Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, to me, was the best tight end prospect of all time until Brock Bowers got drafted. He was the best tight end prospect since Vernon Davis. I think it was, Vernon Davis until Kyle Pitts got there. Kyle Pitts, off the charts as an athlete. The talent is off the charts. And he was just a victim of Desmond Ridder in that trash offense they had. But now he upgrades at quarterback more so than probably any tight end on this list or any player in the league by going from Desmond Ridder to Kirk Cousins.
I don't know if it's going to make sense, but yeah, his athletic ability is off the charts. But is he capable? He was getting targeted last year. He got the ball in his hands. He just really hasn't done nothing with it. After that first season, he's had opportunity. Not really what you would like it to be.
Yeah.
But when he has been given it, he really hasn't produced like you would like him to consistently.
Yeah, because year one he had 1,026 yards and one touchdown. Mm-hmm. I think with a talent like that, you really have to go out your way to make sure you're getting him the ball, you're forcing him the ball, because the talent will show. Okay. If you give him enough opportunity, the talent will show. You have Drake London on the outside. Mm-hmm. You have Bijan Robinson. You have an elite level offensive line, a high level offensive line, and you have the most above average quarterback in the league in Kirk Cousins. So that huge upgrade that they have there, I think that lends to him having a lot of opportunity, and I'm high on Kyle Pitts this year.
And Kirk Cousins likes throwing it to the tight end. Right. He made T.J. Hawkinson top tight end in the league last year. Just last year, T.J. Hawkinson was on a roll before he got hurt.
Absolutely.
Okay. Kyle Pitts, we can agree on the talent's there. Will he get the opportunity this year? That's the question.
I believe he will, man.
Okay.
Next up, we have the best tight end in the world in real football, George Kittle. George Kittle is our consensus number 9. Dallas, thoughts on George Kittle this year?
George Kittle is the most... I'm trying to really digest what you're saying, the best tight end.
He's the best overall. I mean, the tight end position, we're not just talking about fantasy. We're talking about real football. He's one of the few tight ends I've seen that get excited about blocking. He's incredible after the catch. He has more fun than anyone on the football field. He's willing to get dirty, something Travis Kelce would never do. Pause. And he's just phenomenal at every facet of the game. And if he was in the Kansas City offense with Patrick Mahomes and the Andy Reid offense, he would be doing the same thing Travis Kelce is doing and more. He's willing to block. He gets dirty. He's physical after the catch. He's tough. He's available a lot. Like he checks every single box.
I hear you.
In my opinion.
It hasn't really been the case in the last couple of years, but he is really a guy who has been inconsistent being on the field. Last year, not so much. He was on the field, but he did disappear.
Oh yeah.
Fantasy wise, for me, he's a do not draft. I won't draft.
Yeah, I don't draft Kittle in redraft. He's just available. For best ball, I'll take him. I don't want to have to guess when he's going to have big games.
Best ball, I will take him.
Yeah, best ball, I'll take him because he has some boom games, some ridiculous games. But then he'll also have a game where he'll have 1 or 2 catches, and he'll be blocking and dominant in the blocking game.
I'm having Vietnam flashbacks of the Cowboys game last year. Oh.
Yeah, like and that can happen. Last year, he had 1,020 yards and 6 touchdowns. It didn't feel like that if you were a George Kittle manager because he had some boom games and some bust games. So
3 of those were against the Cowboys.
hey,
One game.
you know, Cowboys lose every game that they're not favored, but we don't have to talk about it. George Kittle is a guy, I think he's the best in the world for fantasy purposes. I recommend only taking him in best ball, man. Redraft, you're taking him is pretty much off of name value, and it's hard to trust him on a week-to-week basis.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Last guy. David Njoku, number 10. I personally love David Njoku this year. This is the guy I think I'll be drafting the most of the top 10 guys. I think that he represents an incredible value with where he's going. We saw, obviously, his physical attributes are almost unmatched. He's a monster around the goal line. You see that. That was on full display last year. And he's going to be the number 2 option, I believe, in Cleveland after Amari Cooper.
Okay. Last year when he had his blow up, that was with Joe Flacco. So everyone knows that. But yes, he also has a problem in the past with holding on to the ball. He really has a drop problem. That really wasn't the case as much last year. But again, like you said, he does have all the intangibles.
Yeah. I'm a big David Njoku fan. I'm going to be drafting him a lot this year. Is there anyone outside of our top 10 that we're talking about that you see as a guy that you're high on as a tight end? Any tight ends? What you got?
I hate to say it, but Brock Bowers. Yeah.
Go Dogs.
He is a target for me late in the draft.
Okay.
I think Brock Bowers is worth – he is the opportunity cost like we talk about with tight ends. You're shooting in the dark. He is worth getting him late, getting him in the 10th, 11th, 12th round. Yeah, Brock Bowers. He's on my radar.
Okay. For me, a guy I'm taking, and you can take this guy with the very last pick in the draft, Taysom Hill.
That's another really good one.
That's a guy I believe he lines up he does the Wildcat quarterback thing where he has a rushing floor that no other tight end has. He's lining up at quarterback. I've seen in camp they've been using him at running back some too.
Yep.
He's a goal line weapon, and you get to start him at tight end. On the off chance that he plays some games at quarterback or plays a little bit at quarterback, you have a chance to have your tight end throwing touchdowns. So it's just the upside of that. I think it's worth chasing if it was your last round pick, just to kind of see.
He's worth having.
Yeah, he's worth having for sure, man. So
now,
that's
is
just
Juwan Johnson still on the roster?
Juwan Johnson is on the roster, but he's injured. So
I like Taysom Hill. Yeah, that's a good one.
And let's say Juwan Johnson misses a lot of time. Boom.
That's a good one.
You get a weapon like that.
Is he the best football player in the NFL right now?
Football?
The best football player in the NFL right now?
No. I think he's one of the best gadget guys in the football right now. Like, I don't know. We have so many monsters in the league. When I think of the best players, I think of Trent Williams. Aaron Donald just departed, but he was the best player in the NFL for a long time. Max Crosby. I think of guys like Devontae Adams. No Raiders bias, but these guys are amazing. I think of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Pat Mahomes, like guys that are just playing the game at the highest possible level. Ahmad Gardner. When I think of the best players, I'm thinking of those names come to mind. I don't think Taysom Hill enters my lexicon.
Taysom Hill's a good football player, man.
He
is. He does it all.
He is. If it was like backyard football, Taysom Hill's. I just don't think he's in that discussion. But shout out to Taysom Hill, man.
Do you think he has a chance to get in the Hall of Fame for doing what he's done?
Absolutely not. I think he's really valuable for redrafts and for fantasy football drafts.
I think you're being a little.
Hall of Fame is a lot.
I'm not saying he's Hall of Fame either, but I think you're being a little disrespectful. Taysom Hill's a damn good football player.
He is.
Dude, he can do it all. All right. On that note,
what's up?
What else you got?
Man, make sure you're still interacting with the pod. We're going to be doing a lot more mock drafts as the fantasy football season's right around the corner. We have our League of Record. We have our League of Record draft at the end of August.
Yep.
Yeah. So be ready for that. It's going to be a lot of footage, hours of footage on that. You're going to actually see us drafting. I think we're going to take the GoPro and kind of. It's going to be an experience. So be ready for that.
Our league is so important now. So we have a really tight group of friends. We're going to travel to a little guys getaway in the woods. We're going to draft. It's going to be a whole week. We're making a weekend out of it. We're going to float the river. We're going to video it. A big part of our league, it's kind of become famous in our area, our group, the punishment. The punishment is a bigger deal in our league to our community than the payment is at all. The money, no one even thinks about the money in our league, the prize.
Right.
So what I need is original punishments, ideas. Anything goes. Well, safe for work.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah.
But we need new ideas. We've done so many crazy things. So whatever you have, get it to us. Punishment ideas. Give us punishment ideas.
Yeah, hit us up on any of the platforms, man. YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok, all of it. Hit us up with ideas, man.
We're trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We're about halfway there, so help us out. 100 subscribers.
Show love. Subscribe for us, man. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys, man. Show by the fans for the fans.
All right, Mike.
You got anything else on the way out, man?
No, get ready. Start doing some studying because we got an expert coming in next week to challenge us.
Dog, he better be ready. He or she better be ready.
I hear it. First of all, he's intimidating.
Yeah?
He's a big dude.
Hey, that's fine, man.
You wouldn't expect it.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get out of here.
Horse and the Hound's out.
Horse and the Hound.